My pleasure, Shamamu.
You're welcome.
Let's start this way. Just yesterday, Mr. President declared a national emergency and gave some marching order to the police, to the DSS, and to all the security agencies. Is this a sign of new development, new spontaneous reaction to issues?
Well, it's a welcome development. I appreciate the fact that the president has come to realize that we are actually in a state of war. And in a state of war, you don't treat leprosy with medicine for ringworm. You need to take appropriate measure. Incidentally, in my column in the Punch newspaper, I weighed it. In fact, this month, this is the third or fourth article I've written. Out of 4 weeks of my commentary this week, 3 had been on issue around security, conflict management, and all of that. And it's heartwarming that right steps are being taken to contain the situation, because it's like we've been treating this issue with kids' glove over the decades, and I just hope for proper implementation. What the president has done, like I said, is a step in the right direction, but it's not entirely something that I think will win us this war. Ultimately, if care is not taken, we need a more integrated approach. Just a few days ago, I think the DMI, Department Military Defense, they launched a counterterrorism report, which is also part of chipping. But what I want to see, for instance, let me calibrate what my own take on what the president did yesterday. He wants more boots on ground. So he has asked that the police will recruit about 50,000, initially 30,000, additional 20,000, but that they will make use of one, the deplorable state of the training institutions is already being worked on. I think it's Peter Amba, the governor of Enugu, that is chairing the committee on that. But I don't know how far they've gone, because they were still going on assessment. And we know the deplorable situation this training institution had been before the president recently declared state of emergency. So what measures have been taken to improve and upgrade the facilities in those training institutions? And again, he's asking that orientation camps for youth corps members should be converted to training centers for these 50,000 police. And I wonder whether the orientation camps have the facilities to train the police beyond just, I did my youth service in Delta States. I went through the whole log, the routine march and all of that. There are no facilities in those orientation camps. So you need to upgrade, you need to procure, and that may take a bit of time. So he's also telling elders to stop open grazing. And I see that as an appeasement of sort. Because what the president said, I established the Ministry of Livestock Development because of these reasons. We should stop open grazing. People should embrace ranching. Buhari said this in 8 years. It never happened. Unless you take tough decisions, what is the time that the president has given for this open grazing to stop? The other day I was coming from a TV station during the November 8th gubernatorial election analysis, and I was descending Padumayi. And I had to park for cattle to pass at Asokoro area here in Abuja. You know, Asokoro is the eyebrow area of Abuja. I wonder where the grass is in Asokoro, that you are herding cattle in the city center. We are not talking of satellite communities where I live. I had to park in fact, I took picture. I still have that picture on my phone. In Asokoro, where you have all the state licensing offices, 36 of them, and you still have cattle being grazed in those areas. Just over the weekend, I came for a travel. In the precinct of our airport, cattle are still being grazed. So what the president said yesterday was more like an, okay, I also remember this, but what are the definitive measures? it is to give a marching order to Ministry of Livestock Development. Work with these people, 6 months max. I don't want to see any cattle being grazed on Nigerian roads or Nigerian communities. If you want to incentivize the herders, if you want to set aside money for them, to form them into cooperatives, help them to set up cattle. We have the livestock transformation plan, which was put together by a immediate past administration of Buhari. What has happened with the implementation? So these are measures that can also help, because much of this conflict, particularly in North Central area, is bordering on issue of herders, farmers clashes. Then the president also did mention that schools should not be set up, boarding schools should not be set up in remote communities. Governors should think about ensuring that if they are setting up schools in hard-to-reach environment or in very far-flung places, they should not be boarding. That is advisable, because we are still going to have ungoverned spaces, whether you like it or not. Even with 1 million, recruit 1 million personnel today, you will still have an ungoverned. Nigeria is a very huge in terms of land population. So that is a. But National Assembly have always, in the last 3-5 years, have been calling on National Assembly pass this legislation on state police. I think the president also reiterated that yesterday.
I think it's becoming an indictment of the National Assembly to do it fast.
Well, maybe they were looking at the body language of the president until about 4 or 5 months ago, that the president openly, when he received the delegation from Katsina, that, the president now said, I'm fully in support of, state police. I think that's where the National Assembly now picks in. But they need to fast track that. Because I had Governor Obasanjo of Kaduna, the Southwest governors met this week, 6 of them in Ibadan. They are calling for state police, because the Amotekun that they have set up cannot carry AK-47. It's just all these rifles, then gun and pump action. When herders, as we saw in Kwara, herders come with AK-47, AK-49. So you need to upgrade this Amotekun and other vigilante groups. The only way you can do that is when you have a proper legislation that can enable states who has the resources to set up a proper state police.